Hello and welcome to MetroArts. I am your host, Larry Wallace. Here on MetroArts, we highlight some of the best in the business, from fine artists, photographers, and performing artists to cinematographers and musical artists, all from the Metro Detroit area. On today's show, we'll explore the photography of Tyler Ezell, known professionally as Lumination. We'll meet artist Ramon Lavarro Jordan, and the acoustic duo Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke will perform in studio. Our first guest is photographer and lighting designer Tyler Ezell. Welcome to MetroArts.
Thanks for having me.
So Tyler, you are professionally known as Lumination. Tell me, how did that name come about?
Well, by day, I am an architectural lighting designer. So I design lighting for skyscrapers, casinos, and other buildings. Lumen is the measure of light. And a lot of my photography kind of focuses on lighting and architecture. So I thought it was a good fit to kind of do a play on words for my artist name.
Now, you shoot photos in the city of Detroit. What do you like best about shooting photos in the city?
Well, Detroit has one of the best collections of pre-Depression architecture in the United States. People travel from all over to come to Detroit to witness its architecture, from the Fisher Building to the Guardian Building to the Buell Building in Stott, just to name a few. What I really like to do is bring that human element to architecture. So a lot of my photography focuses on putting people in architectural settings, because humans are what create these places, and kind of sometimes when you look at photography of just architecture, it can be very foreboding, I guess. And so putting humans back into it, it's something you can relate to.
Definitely, definitely. So I see you brought 3 pieces here today. Can you tell me about each one?
Yeah, so this one here is a piece that was shot downtown. I was just walking around, and I like to play with angles and lighting and time of day. And so this one kind of takes you on a little bit of a path of a journey as you look at the photo. It kind of pulls you into it. And the lighting, I kind of try to, sometimes I'll try to embellish the lighting a little bit to capture the emotion that in the given shot. This one here is probably one of my favorites. It's of my friend Maria. She does, as you can tell, she does like dancing. Does ballet and like hip hop and breakdancing. And one day we were just like, we should get together and we should do a shoot. And we were just walking around in the streets of Detroit, and I looked at this intersection and I was like, this is perfect. Just like the feeling that and the lighting, it's really spoke to me. And so I had her start doing a couple of jumps, and she's like, I think I can do a kick that's higher. And like she kept on going, and we probably did 15 like jumps of. Wow. And it was pretty crazy. Like she was exhausted afterwards, but she's really talented, and being able to capture that emotion and that strength was really cool.
Definitely. And what about this one?
This one is one of my favorite buildings. It's the Fisher Building in New Center. So what I did with this photo through editing was I mirrored the bottom, or the arches in it, to kind of pull your focus and create another level of interest. So as a photographer, I sometimes will take a more artistic embellishments to my photos. I'm not a photographer that will just do like a standard capture of what's out there. Sometimes to pull in the emotion and to pull in in this case, the beauty of the Fisher Building. I wanted to mirror it so you can see a bigger picture of the building.
And now, speaking of beauty, you say you like to capture the raw beauty of things. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, like in Detroit, like it's less of a thing now with like the Renaissance that's happening. But what I like to do is kind of get down to the root beauty of things. And Detroit, there's so much beauty in the architecture and its people. And so, like, what I'll try to do is I'll go to areas that, one, people don't think as being necessarily a beautiful place, and try to find ways to showcase it as it really is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
You know, people walk into the Fisher Building and obviously know that it's a beautiful building.
Right.
But like if you're walking down like a grimy street in Detroit, you know, you don't necessarily see that and take that moment to appreciate the environment that you're in.
Definitely. And where would you say your main source of inspiration comes from?
It would have to be my friends. I have a pretty decent pool of friends who are artists. I like to surround myself with them because they're always doing something different. They are taking chances with things.
Definitely.
And I'll look to them and see what they're doing. Definitely. And it kind of fuels my passion to want to be as good as them.
Yeah.
Because like even from like Maria doing dance to other photographers to muralists and that I'm friends with, there's all different levels and types of artistry that I like find inspiration from.
All about the company you keep. Now, where could people find out more information about your work and also you?
You can check out my my website, lumination.com. It's a little play on words.
Yeah.
It's LUMEN, the number 8, and then SHUN.com. But it has more about me and my art, and you can purchase stuff. So
Great.
Okay. But, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here today. It was a pleasure interviewing you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're watching MetroArts on Detroit Public Television. Our next guest is Ramon Lavarro Jordan. Welcome to the show.
Nice having me.
So, art is such a broad category. Can you describe your work as an artist?
Well, my work is, I try to do my work off of my visions I have, like when I'm meditating, and off of life pretty much, you know, try to look at the surrounding things and try to put everything together and make something beautiful pretty much.
Definitely. And what does Detroit mean to you as an artist?
Detroit, it means a lot to me because it actually grew me into what I am today by watching Bob Ross. You know, it showed me a lot that when I was young, it showed me that I can actually do something with my talents. And, you know, today, and this is what I use to help me get here.
Now, you actually make your work available to others too.
Yes.
Tell me, how do you go about creating pieces for others?
Others, I usually go and like spend some time with them and see their personality and like talk to them about the things that they like. And I usually like go to their house or they place a work and go check everything out, and pretty much I put everything together, you know, get a little feedback from them on what they want, and I pretty much put it all together in my head, and it comes out, and you know, like this.
Yeah, so every single piece is kind of like custom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So what is your process when creating these pieces?
Well, first I sit back, especially my wood pieces. I sit back and the wood talks to me. I actually look at the grain in the wood, and it actually shows me like how I want to make things flow. So it actually just like helps me paint what I need to paint.
Definitely, definitely. So you brought 4 pieces with you today. Can you tell us about each one?
Yes, this one is a geisha girl, and she's actually spreading her spirit across. It's like the thin air, pretty much. And the tree is the tree of life. And this one was inspired by Tina Guo, and she's a famous cellist. And two ladies from, I can't remember the name of the store, I went in there to buy one, and they said, what are you gonna do with it? I said, well, I'm gonna pretty much take it apart and paint it. It was like, oh, that don't sound good. But when I showed them the idea, because I drew it first, and they seen it, they was like, oh, that is beautiful. And they gave me two.
Okay, they gave you two.
Gave me two.
Supportive.
Yeah. And this one right here it's pretty much about getting down to the basics of life. Beauty is skin deep, you know, and once you take away the colors of life, it's still gonna be beautiful no matter what, you know, how you look and perceive things, you know. So that's why I pretty much did this one. It's nature, basically, getting back to itself, you know.
Yeah, and it kind of looks wet.
Yes, that's actually a two-part epoxy.
Okay.
Yes, and I put it on there and I applied it on there so it can actually have like, it actually was raining.
Yeah.
And like the painting was bleeding, so.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And this one right here is actually the cellist, Tina Guo, and I did this one from looking at her and listening to her music, and it kind of inspired me because she had a song on there that was kind of sad, and I kind of took that and ran with it, and I made her with the cello on her back and her looking into the reflection of the water, and actually the strings are from a cello, so they're coming out of her heart, and she's pretty much pouring her heart onto the world, pretty much.
So it kind of seems to me, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, it kind of seems to me that each piece tells a different story.
Yes.
But would you say that you have a specific theme for your work?
No, actually never. It just comes out theme probably for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, if like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. All right, that's what I'm gonna do, and it comes out.
So a theme for a minute, then the creative juices started.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what would you say is your favorite piece?
My favorite piece is actually probably that one.
Okay. And why is that?
Yeah, because it's something different. This new, it's actually something I came up with when I was meditating. So I came up with it, I seen it, and I was like, you know what? Let me figure out how I can put this together so it can look 3D-ish and on nice wood. That's actually cherry wood.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. And where can people find out more information about your work?
They can go to my Facebook page. It's Ramon Lavarro Jordan on Facebook, and pretty much that's it for right now.
Okay, well, Ramon, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You're very talented. It was a pleasure interviewing you.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
You're watching MetroArts, produced at the Midtown Studio at Wayne State University. Our next guests are Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hi, Larry.
Thank you guys for being here. So you guys have actually won 2 major Detroit Music Awards. Can you guys describe your music to me?
Well, the way we'll describe it is timeless and universal. That's, if we're forced to describe our music, that's the best 2 words that can do, that's our goal in songwriting. Sheila grew up in the hills of Appalachia, and I grew up right here in the streets of Detroit. And when we came together, that music came together in a form of beauty and toughness and truth, spiritualism and revolution, and that's how I view the music. That's the strong points. Better left to let others describe our music, but if I'm forced to describe it, that's what I'll tell you.
Definitely, definitely. So there seems to be a focus of social justice in your music. Can you guys tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. These songs come to us. We say the songs write us, we're the messengers. But we've both been working for many years to do whatever we can to alleviate some of the suffering. We're very honored to say that two of our songs in particular, the song Waiting for That Flower to Bloom that we'll do later in the program, has been featured on 3 CDs. One was Fukushima Project for the children of Japan, and all of the funding went to help them. Second was a UNICEF record just this past year. And thirdly, I'm sure you've probably heard about everything going on with Standing Rock.
Definitely.
So that song also was picked up on Volume 5, Songs for Standing Rock. And then, well, we're going to be talking a little bit more, I think, about Everybody Has a Purpose. But we do whatever we can to get out in the community. I would like to mention we have a couple of projects that we're working on for children. It's called Art in a Corner.
Yes.
It's a project in England that we were invited to work on.
Definitely.
And the funding for that goes to help youth in the arts program. And it's been endorsed by Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney.
Wow.
So we were very blessed to be part of that. Locally, we do whatever we can around Metro Detroit to help out, or as a matter of fact, that's how we met, was at a fundraiser and event to some of the benefits and local work around Detroit. Yeah.
Definitely. Good deeds, good deeds. So you guys are actually going to be performing 2 songs for us today. Can you guys tell us a little bit about both?
Sure. Everybody Has a Purpose is the title song to the CD, which Sheila's holding in her hand here. That song was written on the sidewalk on Woodward Avenue, just outside the Fox Theater. And I was there with my guitar. I left the van. I sat down on the sidewalk across the street from Comerica Park. And I was noticing the differences between the people that were having so much fun over at Comerica Park. A ball game was going on. And I watched some homeless people walk by me as I was sitting there. And I saw the irony of that. And I was thinking, well, everybody has a purpose. Yes. And that was the inspiration for this, for the album, really.
For sure.
That's how it began. That's how it was born.
For sure. And where could people find out more information about your music?
Just go online. It's joekidandsheilaburke.com. So it's a little bit funny spelling. It's kid with 2 D's, and Sheila is kind of an Irish spelling, S-H-E-I-L-A. joekidandsheilaburke.com. Wow. And we would love it if everyone would just kind of check into our website, maybe leave a comment, sign the guest book. We're very down to earth. We like to talk with people, find out a little bit about them, what their background is too.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure interviewing you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you guys. Up next, Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke will perform in our studio. You're watching MetroArts on Detroit Public Television.
Everybody has a purpose to have and to hold. Everybody has a story that's never been told. Now I've got my reasons for living, and I've got my heart on my sleeve, and I believe everybody has a feeling that rises above. Everybody has a passion, a heart full of love. Now I've got no secret to tell you, and I'm hiding nothing up my sleeve, and got to believe, yeah, yeah, yeah. reasons for living, and I got my heart on my sleeve, and I believe.
I've been waiting for that telephone call, waiting for that train. I've been waiting for that mountain to fall, waiting for that plane. I've been waiting for this movie to start. Pain in my heart, waiting to be heard. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I've been waiting for the bombs to stop falling, waiting to be free. I've been waiting for my prayer and my calling, waiting to believe. I've been waiting for a miracle cure. I've been waiting for us all to be sure, waiting for this night. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I've been waiting for that flower to bloom for such a long time. I'll be waiting for my dream to come true for the rest of my life.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. I'd like to thank our guests, Tyler Ezell, Ramon Lavarro Jordan, and the duo Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke for being here today. Remember, you can watch any of our shows online at MetroArtsDetroit.com and find us on social media. I'm your host on MetroArts, Larry Wallace, reminding you to always support the arts and cultivate the talent in your community.